You know about the Olympics, and you probably know about the Paralympics, but have you heard of the Transplant Games? Yes, I said it, the Transplant Games. Every 2 years, the Donate Life Transplant Games are held in the U.S. for the transplant community. Just like the Olympics, cities across the country bid on hosting the Transplant Games. And just like the Olympics, athletes converge on the host city to compete in their chosen sport. The Donate Life Transplant Games highlight the critical importance of organ, eye, and tissue donation while celebrating the lives of organ donors and recipients. Everyone is here because they have been touched by organ donation or transplant. The Donate Life Transplant Games involves the entire transplant community, from healthcare providers, recipients, donors, living and deceased, donor families, to those on the transplant waiting list, to highlight the benefits of organ donation. What makes the Transplant Games unique is the special connection or bond that everyone shares at these games. While the athletes are here to compete, they will tell you how grateful they are for their donor and their second chance at life or improved life. They will tell you how they are here to honor their donor and all donors. What makes the Transplant Games unique is the call to action to increase the donor registry by demonstrating on a national and international stage the benefits of organ donation. Hello everyone, I'm Tammy Rusnak, and today we're going to take a look at the Donate Life Transplant Games. Before we start exploring all the games has to offer, let's take a look at the history of the Transplant Games. While several transplant games were held on a regional basis in the 1980s, the first organized transplant games on a national level were put on by the National Kidney Foundation. They were held in Indianapolis, Indiana in 1990. The NKF last hosted the Transplant Games in 2010 in Madison, Wisconsin, which happened to be my first Transplant Games. 2012 rang in a new era for the Donate Life Transplant Games, organized under the Transplant Games of America. The first games with the Transplant Games of America were held in 2012 in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Since 2012, the Transplant Games of America has been producing the Donate Life Transplant Games, and we found ourselves in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which is the home city of the Transplant Games of America. Houston, shout out to Texas, since I had my transplant in San Antonio, and also in Cleveland, Ohio, the city that rocks, and now we find ourselves in Salt Lake City, Utah. All 50 states are represented, as well as international participation from Brazil, Australia, and India, with more than 1,100 transplant athletes that participate, plus nearly 4,000 supporters are in attendance. The Transplant Games are very similar to the Olympics, with traditional sporting events like swimming, track and field, badminton, golf, tennis, and cycling. But there are several other sporting events for people to participate in, like bowling, poker, and cornhole, which is very popular. There are also several non-sporting special events and activities taking place during the games that include workshops, a donor tribute, and a quilt program and quilt pinning. And there is also a quarter-century club dinner and party. This is just a sampling of the many activities going on all around us. For the next 6 days, Salt Lake City will play host to the largest Donate Life family gathering of organ, eye, and tissue recipients, living donors, donor families, and thousands of supporters. Let's start by meeting some of the teams and their athletes and supporters. Hi, what's your name and what team are you with?
My name is Natalie Briscoe, and I'm with Team MoCan, Missouri and Kansas.
And are you a recipient or a donor, or why are you here?
My husband is a recipient.
And what is his name and what did he receive?
His name is Keith Briscoe, and he received 2 different liver transplants.
Okay. And where did he receive it, and when did he receive his transplants?
He received his transplants at KU Med in Kansas City, and both of them were in June of 2015.
Okay. And is he an athlete here then during the games?
Yes, he is. He's getting ready to walk in.
And what is he going to be competing in while he's here?
He's competing in basketball, volleyball, and some track and field events.
And what does it mean for you to be here at the games?
We're just very thankful to have him here with us and able to compete and able to celebrate the gift that he's been given. I'm very humbled by the people who are families of those who donated.
Well, thank you for sharing his story, and good luck to him at the games.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm here with Diane and George, whose son Brian was an organ donor. Diane, will you tell us about Brian and his story?
Well, my son Brian who's right here, we were in Tahoe at this picture, was a special needs child. His sister always said Brian struggled with the simple things in life that we all take for granted. And he did it with a smile on his face. He always had a smile on his face. He was a joy to have as a child. It was like having a child for 31 years because he lived to be 31 years of age. Brian saved 6 lives. His heart went to a 12-year-old child, which actually made us very happy when we heard that news. His kidney went to an 18-year-old young man. His other kidney went to a 33-year-old mother. Each lung went to 2 different ladies. One was both were in their 60s, and his liver went to a 44-year-old man, and his pancreas went for research. He made a legacy, like something. How many people can save 6 lives? And the fact that I said yes 31 years ago and gave him that chance, gave these 6 strangers a chance to continue, and that makes me really, really proud. And I feel that he has such a beautiful legacy because of it. We've met his kidney recipient who lives here in Utah, so we've been having a wonderful time at these Utah games.
I think it's just a wonderful thing to be able to meet a recipient and to see that what a difference you can just see that for you to say yes, you actually see what yes really means. It means that little boy who was a young man now is alive, and that's just the most wonderful thing to be able to say that my son saved somebody.
Hi, tell me your name.
My name is Marty Plas.
And Marty, what team are you here with?
Team Ohio, OHIO.
And tell me, are you a donor or a supporter, or what's your connection to the transplant games?
I am a living donor, and I'm here for my son, supporting my son, who I donated my kidney to back in 2004.
And where did the transplant take place?
Cleveland Clinic. Just a phenomenal facility, and we're very proud of how to have them there.
And what do these games mean to you?
Well, my son discovered he needed a transplant coming home from his freshman year in college back in 2004. And, you just finished your schooling and you find out that you need an organ. You can't go back to school. Again, because of the medical cost of having a transplant, as I'm sure you know, you got to start thinking about what it is you want to do with your life as a career, because you need the medical help to maintain that. And so everything was changing for him at such a young age. But the first time I saw him smile was when I walked into his hospital room. He said, "Dad, they have an Olympics for people with transplants." And he got well enough for us to make our first trip out to Minnesota back in 2004. And we all went out as a family, and we've been doing it every 2 years since.
Hi, I'm here with Sandy. So Sandy, tell me what team you're on.
I'm from Team Liberty.
And how many years have you been participating in the games?
This is my 9th games.
And what did you receive?
I received a kidney 20 years ago from my mother. Yes.
And tell me about that, where it occurred and
It was at Yale New Haven Hospital in Connecticut.
And I see a couple of medals on that you have around your neck today, so tell me about them.
One's from table tennis yesterday, and won a gold from badminton today.
That's fantastic. So tell me about the games and what they mean to you.
It's a way to reconnect, with my transplant, because every day, I feel so good, and I take my pills, but here it kind of just helps me to ground me again, and hang out with all my friends that I've met over the years and stuff, and yeah.
So do you have more competition to look forward to here at the games?
Yeah, so I'm playing volleyball tomorrow and pickleball on Tuesday.
Well, congratulations on the medals received so far, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm here with Bill from Team Philadelphia. So, Bill, tell me your connection to the transplant games.
Well, I'm a heart transplant recipient of 3 years. I was transplanted back in June 17th of 2015, heart transplant recipient. And these are my second games. My first games were in Cleveland.
Congratulations on your heart transplant.
Well, thank you.
So what are you competing in here at the transplant games?
Well, Friday I started with cycling, and today badminton in men's singles and also men's doubles. And tomorrow I'll be in volleyball, and Tuesday I'll be in pickleball.
Great. So how's your success been here at the games with your sports?
Well, I didn't medal in my first games in Cleveland, but cycling I took a medal, and I also took a medal in men's single badminton and men's double badminton. So things are good.
Congratulations. So what does being here at the Transplant Games mean to you?
Well, I met a lot of people in Cleveland, and I was really set on winning a medal and not really focusing on the real mission of the Transplant Games. And then after my cycling event, which I really wanted to win a medal in, I kind of just relaxed, settled back, and just took in all the journeys of the people like me who had transplants. And then it changed for me. So coming back 2 years later to these games in Utah is just a reunion of people that I met, and it's just much more relaxed and comfortable. And it's neat because I'm being able to share my journey with other people that have similar journeys.
Well, congratulations on your success so far, and good luck with the rest of your competition.
Well, thanks very much.
Hi, I'm here with Nicole from Team Northwest. So Nicole, tell me why you're here and what you're involved in.
Yeah, I'm here with Team Northwest. I'm a living donor. I donated a kidney to my best friend. It will be 11 years ago this fall.
And where did the donation take place?
I live in Portland, Oregon, but my recipient lives in Seattle, Washington. So the organ transplant was there at Virginia Mason Hospital in Seattle.
Okay. And here at the games, are you competing also?
A lot. I did a lot of competitions. I participated in the virtual triathlon, which means I competed in swim events, cycle events, track and field events, and I also did the 5K.
And how'd you do?
I did well. I'm coming home with 7 medals, and some of those were gold, so I'm excited.
And that's awesome. In addition to competing, you also play another role on Team Northwest. Tell us about that.
I do. I'm the team manager, which means I'm organizing 50 athletes and donor families and supporters from Oregon, Washington, and Alaska. We're a very disparate group of individuals, so there's a lot to do.
Hi, I'm here with Victoria and Tony. Tell me, what team are you with?
Oh,
IO.
Wonderful. So I see a lot of medals around your neck. What did you compete in and how did you do?
I competed in cornhole, volleyball, and mixed doubles bowling, and I won gold in cornhole and mixed doubles bowling.
Wonderful. How about you, Tony?
I competed in singles bowling, doubles bowling, and mixed doubles bowling, and I received gold in each event.
And the two of you were partners in mixed doubles, right?
Yes,
That
we were.
correct.
Okay. So what do the games mean to you now?
They mean a little bit more to me now than when I started. I started in 2002, but now it's extra special because I get to compete with my husband as we're both recipients. So,
And for you, Tony?
I think the biggest thing is over the years, I'm now a 34-year kidney recipient. Over the years, I've cherished my friendships more with everybody I meet. So I think that's the biggest thing. Of course, competing with my wife, and it's just makes it each game is more special to me as it goes along.
Well, thanks for sharing your story and congratulations on all your success. I'm here with Jody Miller, donor mother. Jody, would you please tell us your story?
Yes, we are here at the games because my daughter Heather, she was 21 years old, and she passed away 10 years ago. She was home for Easter break from the School of Nursing at WVU, and she was 6 weeks away from graduating from there to be a nurse. And she was critically injured in a drunk driving crash in which she was the passenger. She suffered a severe head trauma, and 1 week after the crash, on March 31st in 2008, she was declared brain dead, and Heather was a registered organ donor. So from there, she saved 4 lives. She was able to donate her heart, both kidneys, and her liver, and enhance up to another 50 lives through organ donation.
So what a beautiful gift that she was able to give in giving life to others as she passed away. Tell us about how you've been able to keep her legacy alive through scholarships that your family has created.
Yes, actually when we talk about her, it's kind of threefold. First and foremost was, she was a registered donor and saved lives, which is fantastic. Secondly, we now have a Mothers Against Drunk Driving chapter in Wheeling, which I started because of the circumstances. And thirdly, we started a golf tournament in her memory the very first year after she had passed away, with the graciousness of my family and friends. And we just did our 11th one. We award nursing scholarships to local students that have the same characteristics and qualities that she did. And to date, we are over 118 scholarships that we have donated to, awarded to local students. And it's just the way we carry on her legacy, and it just keeps going on and on and on.
You've talked a little bit about the games, but what do they mean to you now?
It's just something that we always want to be here for. I can't tell you what it was like walking on the field, having a stadium full of recipients thanking us for being, honoring her wishes and being donor families.
The Donate Life Transplant Games kick off with the opening ceremony, where the teams and athletes march into the cheers of thousands of supporters and volunteers. All the anticipation and build-up from the last games is finally over. Everyone's ready to get this party started. There is a special musical performance, speeches by dignitaries, and the torch lighting. It's truly an inspiring time.
In a world where 22 people die every day because an organ is not available, you are the hero. 18 TJ Masiak Award winner, John Creel.
I have to say, guys, when I was watching you all walk in here, for me, it redefined the term Field of Dreams, what you guys represent.
I think bringing the games to Salt Lake City, it's been a long time since the Transplant Games have been on the West Coast, and so many people from around here aren't familiar with the Donate Life Transplant Games, so we're bringing them out to the West Coast to get everybody excited.
2017, but we are incredibly lucky and honored. Like that cauldron.
Yes, I'm your host for this episode, but I am also a participant. I am a member of Team SoCal. We have 95 members, comprised of 62 athletes and 33 supporters here at the games, and 4 donor families. We have team members competing in nearly all sports and many special events, including track and field, swimming, basketball, table tennis, and cornhole. Me, I will be competing in badminton, bowling, poker, and volleyball. Wish me luck. Let's take a minute and meet some of the athletes and supporters from Team SoCal and hear their stories. What is your name?
My name is Darryl Robb.
And what sports are you competing in here at the games?
Well, I'm not much of an athlete, but I try. I'm doing darts, I'm doing poker, and there's about 5 different bowling events that I'm doing. And I'm going to do a team sport called volleyball.
And what did you receive?
I received a liver 12 years ago.
And how many years have you been participating in the Transplant Games?
This is my 3rd game, and I really enjoy it. It's a lot more than just the sports that is involved, because it's a mixture of recipients and donor families. So it's a lot more emotional than people think, and it's a lot more than just a bunch of games.
And what is your name?
My name's Erin Roberts.
And what are you competing in, Erin?
I'm competing in a little bit of everything. This morning I did the 5K cycling event. I'm also doing the Dash for Donation, the 5K run. I'm doing singles bowling, trivia, and Texas Hold'em poker.
You're playing a lot of sports, but you are not a recipient, you're a living donor. So tell us about your living donation.
Yes, ma'am, I am a living donor. As of July 11th, a year ago, I donated my kidney. It was originally an anonymous donation to a friend of a friend that I found on Facebook. Up until 2 months ago, I really didn't know much about the game, so I'm very blessed to be here, and I'm very thankful that other donors and recipients have made me aware of this wonderful cause to bring awareness to donors and recipients and their families.
Well, thank you so much, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
And what's your name?
My name is Zachary Brooks.
And you're an athlete?
I'm a transplant athlete. I've participated in multiple games at this point. So yes, transplant athlete.
And what sports are you going to be competing in at these games?
At these games, the virtual triathlon, which includes swimming, cycling on the same day, so a rough day, and then track and field events, and then volleyball.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And what is your name?
My name's Albert Jones III.
And what sports are you competing in? You're a transplant athlete?
I am a transplant athlete. I'll be participating in basketball and trivia this time.
And what did you receive?
I received a liver on September 18th, 2013.
How many times have you participated in the transplant games?
Actually, this is my first time. I'm here with my wife and my son, AJ.
And what do the games mean to you?
Oh, this means a lot to us. It's a family event. It's the first road trip we've taken in a long time with our son, and it means a lot because we went through a lot during my sickness. My son was 2 at the time, so for him to see me go from sickness to now participating in these games means a lot.
Well, good luck to you at the games.
Thank you. Thank you.
And what is your name?
Tom Elias.
And what sports are you going to be competing in?
Swimming and track and field.
And what did you receive?
A kidney.
And when and where did it take place?
It happened on September the 17th, 1997 at UCLA.
And how many years have you been participating in the transplant games?
20 years, my 11th games.
Wow. And what do the games mean to you?
They're a celebration. Everybody here has a dramatic story. Mine is one of the least dramatic, actually. And it's just a fabulous bunch of people. These are real survivors, people that can live through almost anything, the ones that are here. And you know, among transplant recipients, we have to understand that we also are the lucky ones.
And what is your name?
My name is Daniel Lavanos.
And what sports will you be competing in, Daniel?
I am competing in the swimming events, the cornhole toss, team volleyball, and doubles bowling.
And what transplant did you receive?
I received a liver.
And how many years have you been participating at the transplant games?
Actually, this is my 4th games that I've participated, the 3rd games I participated in, and 1 game I volunteered, so this is my 4th time.
And what do the games mean to you?
The games mean a great deal to me because having a second chance in life and having this opportunity to prove the fact that I'm capable of performing at a higher level is really great. And my donor's anonymous, so it's really been a blessed gift to me. So I'm just to prove the world that there's life after transplantation.
Well, good luck to you in your competition this weekend.
Well, thank you very much, and go Team SoCal.
There's a team of people that makes the Donate Life Transplant Games happen. The leader is Bill Ryan, President and CEO of Transplant Games of America. Let's meet Bill and hear what goes into producing the Donate Life Transplant Games. Hi, Bill. Thanks for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure.
So tell us how this all started. How did you get involved with the Transplant Games, and when did you start producing it?
Well, we picked up the games in 2011. The National Kidney Foundation had decided that they were going to suspend the games for a while, so we kind of jumped in and took them over and started the Transplant Games of America, which later became the Transplant Life Foundation, but we've been doing it since 2011.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit more about the Transplant Life Foundation.
Well, the foundation was, the name was changed from the Transplant Games of America to Transplant Life Foundation because we felt it better described the mission of the organization, because the games were one segment where we were trying to reach out to a lot of different audiences to bring them into the fold, you know, the families, not just donor families, recipients, dialysis patients, patients waiting for a transplant, and supporters, medical teams, and professionals.
So tell us about the organization then. How many people it takes to make this happen? What's going on behind the scenes for the 2 years leading up to the games?
Well, you know, many people are surprised that we're an all-volunteer organization right now. Typical of a lot of 501c3s where, you know, we're understaffed and underfunded, but so we have a lot of volunteers that, you know, roll up their sleeves to make this work. You know, we have 8 people that are pretty much full-time volunteers that make this happen. They're event experts, they're publication experts, they're marketing experts. So we have a lot of talented people that make this all work together.
So what are some of the highlights that are going on during the games this week?
Oh gosh, where do we start? Well, it's a 6-day event, and it's chock full of things. There's 21 sporting competitions for living donors and recipients, and then there's a whole series of programs that go on every single day that are designed to bring the games and information about the games and the mission, to more people. So we're very excited that we have the opportunity to get in front of 6, 7, 8,000 people with a strong message about donation and transplantation.
So you mentioned the Transplant Life Foundation, the games evolved into that. So what do you see as the future of the games and the foundation?
Well, the foundation better describes, as I mentioned earlier, that we're trying to reach a bigger audience. So when you think about our audience, we consider the 30,000 organ recipients a year. You figure over 10 years, that's 300,000 people. And then there's cornea recipients. There's 50,000 a year. That's 500,000 people. And then tissue recipients are 1 million people a year. Over a 10-year period, you start looking at these numbers, and you're talking 12 to 13 million people that have had some impact by donation and transplantation. All of those people need services. They need communication. They need education, and there's no one out there that's really providing that in a broad sense. And we intend to do that with the foundation.
Well, thank you for all the work that you've done to widen the scope of organ, eye, and tissue donation and transplant. What do the games mean to you?
Well, on a personal level, I'm a donor dad, so that's an added dimension for me, besides being an event planner, to be able to honor my daughter's donation. That we can extend her message and her sacrifice that she made to provide the gift of life for other people. So it has a very personal tug for me, and we love doing it.
Well, I know personally I enjoy coming to the games and the spirit of camaraderie and whatever, the celebration of life, but also the remembrance of the donors. So thank you for what you're doing to bring this to the forefront of the community and another venue.
No, it's my pleasure.
An event like this takes a lot of volunteers to produce. I'm sitting here with Heather, who is overseeing the volunteer check-in. So Heather, tell me how that's going and what your role is.
So I am managing all the volunteers this year for the Transplant Games in 2018 here in Salt Lake City, and we are helping events here at the Salt Lake Convention Center and all over the valley.
So tell me how many volunteers an event like this takes.
We have over 2,200 different shifts and about 700 individual volunteers.
And all the volunteers are local, or where do they come from?
I was really surprised, actually. About half of our volunteers are coming with their family members, either transplant recipients, living donors, and deceased donor families. So they're coming from all over the country, and along with our population of volunteers here in Utah.
Wonderful. And tell me, is this your first Transplant Games?
It is. I worked in transplant for 13 years, and but this is the first time I've been to a Games or done much with it at all.
And so what are your impressions? What does the Games mean to you?
It's been incredible. It's been a lot of work, but I have met some amazing people, and getting to know the deceased donor families is one thing I hadn't done a lot of before because I worked with recipients. But I've heard some amazing stories. It's been great.
Well, thank you so much for volunteering for these games and for supporting the Donate Life Transplant Games.
Well, we're glad they're here, and you're very welcome.
It takes a lot of support to produce an event of this size. There are many sponsors and exhibitors interacting with the participants and attendees here at the Donate Life Transplant Games. Let's meet some of them and learn why they're here at the Games. Hi, I'm here with Ray from AST and Power to Save. So Ray, can you tell us a little bit about AST and Power to Save and how they're connected?
Sure. So the American Society of Transplantation is actually the organization for professionals. So everybody in your, well, maybe not everybody, but a lot of members of your transplant like doctors and teams are actually members of our organization. But what Power to Save is our public facing. And what we do focus on primarily is advocacy, education, and awareness. So with that, we're actually this is actually a little bit new for us as an organization. We're just starting now to bring community members with us to Capitol Hill and things along those lines. And we've been developing, transplant community summits to bring that education to the community and give them the tools that they need to feel empowered to, go out there, educate, bring awareness, and then, help move legislation forward to help, the transplant community get what they need from health resources.
Have you been to the games yourself before this year?
Nope, this is my first time. Yes.
And what are your impressions? What does it mean to you to be here?
It's just a tremendous sense of community. Personally, I don't have like my own tie to transplant. I kind of just fell into it, and it's just an amazing experience. Just as somebody who is an outsider and doesn't have that connection, you have no idea, what goes on and everything that's involved, and there's all the different types of people in the story. So it's just, I would say, humbling.
Well, thank you for sharing the information about AST and the Power to Save.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much.
I'm here with Joni and Eric from Veloxis. So, Eric, tell me about Veloxis.
Veloxis Pharmaceutical is a company based out of Cary, North Carolina, and our primary focus is transplant.
Great. And Joni, tell me about your impressions being here.
I think it's really heartwarming and seeing all the games and all the participants, meeting recipients and hearing their stories, and also meeting family members of deceased donors and hearing their stories. And some of them are such tragic situations that happened, and then they talk about how their family member were able to save lives and organ and tissue donations. So it's really been eye-opening and heartwarming and heart-wrenching at the same time, just lots of tears, and brings value and kind of brings everything together in what we do and why we do what we do.
Eric, is this the first year that Veloxis has been supporting the Transplant Games?
Yes, this is our first year. We're very excited to be here. We appreciate the opportunity to be here, and we're looking forward to more transplant games in the future.
So great. So we'll see you at the 2020 games at the New Jersey Meadowlands?
Absolutely. We're gearing up right now for the 2020 games, and we're looking forward to it.
I'm here with Erin and Linda from University of Utah Health. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
So tell me about University of Utah Health.
So the University of Utah Health is a transplant center for heart, lung, liver, kidney, and pancreas in Utah. We're one of 2 centers. And we have been around since
1965. We did our first kidney transplant in 1965, our first living donor transplant in 1967. So we've been around a long time. We've done over 2,000 kidney transplants. We also had the first dialysis center here at the University of Utah. It was the dialysis was designed by Dr. Kolf, and so that's one of our greatest achievements.
That's amazing. So tell me, obviously being a transplant center, and this is the Transplant Games, how did you get involved with the Transplant Games this year?
So, explaining my voice here, I was the director of the cycling event for the Transplant Games here in Utah this year, and so I lost my voice cheering the athletes on, so it was really fun. I've been a manager in the heart and lung transplant program here at the University of Utah, and actually been with the University of Utah Health since 2003 as a nurse.
And you, Linda?
I am an admin assistant in the transplant program. I was a kidney transplant assistant, but I've been with the transplant center since 2004 and with the University of Utah since '98.
And have either of you attended the Transplant Games before being here at Salt Lake City, Utah?
No, never, no.
So what are your impressions now that you've seen the games here in your home city?
Oh, it's so much fun, so heartwarming. The patients, the people, the recipients, everybody we've talked to has the best stories. I'm getting goosebumps again. And it's like a never-ending crying. I mean, the donor ceremony yesterday, the donor appreciation was amazing. It's just such a gift. And I wish more people were here, outside of our community, the organ transplant community, then they could see exactly what we do and how important it is.
Hi, I'm here with Melissa with Donate Life America. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. So tell me about Donate Life America and its mission.
Donate Life America has been around for 25 years, and our mission is to increase the number of life-saving and healing organ, eye, and tissue donors, and to create donation and the cause of donation as a public cause and one that the public engages with, and also to make it something that people feel is like just a basic human responsibility to donate life.
And so obviously this is a perfect match being here at the Donate Life Transplant Games, right?
It certainly is, and we're proud supporters of the games and proud that they are the Donate Life Transplant Games, and really enjoy the opportunity to see donor families and recipients get together, especially donor families that have never met their recipients and recipients that have never met their donor families.
And how long has the Donate Life America been attending the Transplant Games?
We attended back when it was the National Kidney Foundation Games, and then we had a break for a couple of games, but we've been back with Bill Ryan and the Transplant Games since the games in Houston 4 years ago.
And how many games have you attended yourself?
Oh my gosh, let's see. This is number 6. Number 6. Yes, I went to Columbus back in the 90s.
Wow. And what is your impression about the games and how it's changed or maybe not changed over the years?
I think it's changed in a really positive way, and that is that it is more embracing of organ, eye, and tissue donors, and that everyone truly is welcome here as either a competitor or just as a supporter, but it's just one giant family, as you know from having been to the games many times yourself.
So Melissa, and your final thoughts, if you had one request, what would that be?
That's an easy one. It would be to go to registerme.org and register your decision to be a life-saving and healing donor. And for donor families and recipients to make sure that they incorporate that request into their storytelling so that there is an action, a positive life-saving action that people can take.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm here with Kathleen Hoster with the Donate Life Rose Parade Float, produced by One Legacy. So Kathleen, tell me what's going on here.
Hi, Tammy. Thank you for doing this interview. This is our 16th year in the parade. We have a Rose Parade Float to honor those who have given the gift of life, received the gift of life, living donors, tissue recipients, and it's just a great platform on a national level to be able to get the word out about organ, eye, and tissue donation.
And what else is going here in the booth then? What are we doing for the attendees who stop by here?
So we're challenging all transplant recipients at the games to actually dedicate a rose in honor of their donor, whether they know that donor or not, that they have been given that gift of life, and that they do a dedication. And you'll see we've had about 150 transplant recipients actually dedicate a rose, which is great. Those dedications will be placed on a rose vial, and they'll actually be hand placed and put on the float in December.
Okay. And anything else going on here at the 2018 Donate Life Transplant Games that you want to share with everyone?
Actually, there is this year. One Legacy is sponsoring the Guinness Challenge for the most recipients in one place at one time. We're close. We're going to be doing it at closing ceremonies, and we're really looking forward to hopefully breaking this record.
Well, great. I'm sure we will. You guys do a great job in everything you do.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm here with Robert Horsey, Organ Recovery Coordinator with the Indiana Donor Network, and Robert's also an author of the book Gifted. So, Robert, tell us about the book Gifted.
Gifted is a story of organ donation. It's uniquely told from the donor family perspective. Most of the stories and movies you see are recipient related or recipient focused. I've been an organ recovery coordinator for about 13 years, and I felt it was time that we honor the donors and their families for the great gifts that they give. So I thought no better way than to write a screenplay. I wrote the screenplay first, and now I've written the book.
And what are your impressions? Is this your first games?
It is my first games here in Salt Lake, and I love the atmosphere. There's so much love and energy and hope just floating in the air. It's just wonderful to be around.
Robert, if you had one more thing that you'd like to share with the community, what would that be?
That would be to have the discussion with your family and friends about your decision to donate your organs. And once you've made that decision, go online to registerme.org and make that decision known online. Get on the registry.
Thank you so much for sharing your time and for sharing this book with everyone.
It's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
I'm here with Brenda Cortez, living donor and author. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning.
So tell me about your living donation.
So I'm a living kidney donor. I donated 13 years ago to another mom that was in need. So my kids were 7 and 11 at the time. There weren't any resources really for them, so I wanted to write something that would be able to help other kids that were going through similar things.
Wow, that's very generous of you, very generous. So, so tell us about your Howl at the Owl series, and specifically about Howl Helps Bella today.
Okay, so the first book, actually, sorry to interrupt though, was my mom is having surgery, a kidney story, which is about my kidney donation. Then that led into creating a character for kids to relate to, which is Howl the Owl, and his name stands for Help Others with Love. And so he gets a heart transplant in one book. And then in this book here, Howl Helps Bella, I met Bella and her family 2 years ago at the games in Cleveland, and then 2 months after her daddy passed away. And I knew I wanted to write a story on that topic. It's a little bit of a heavy topic for kids, but this book then has a purpose. So it explains that Bella's daddy, he was like a superhero. He saved other people's lives, and it incorporates the games, pictures from the games as well. And then there's a series, so this is book 2 in the series. Book 3 is coming out later this year, and it's Howl learns about dialysis, and we'll also focus on kidney and a search for a living kidney donor. And then we have Howl Helps Others. That one is focusing on kindness, helping others, a little bit on transplant, and autism and bullying as well.
Wow. So out of your living donation, all of these books and all of these different topics within the organ transplant community have come about.
Yep, and there's plenty more to come, and this adorable little plush animal to help kids relate and learn about being kind and helping others, and that's truly what organ donation is all about.
Well, thank you. If you had any last words you'd like to share with everyone, what would that be?
Consider being a hero, saving somebody's life. You can consider being a living donor for kidney or liver. If that's not for you, then consider when you're not here that you can give the gift of life by being an organ donor.
And if you want to be an organ donor, you can go to registerme.org. Thank you very much, Brenda.
Thank you.
There are many activities that take place at the Donate Life Transplant Games that do not include sports competitions. Let's take a look at some of those activities and events. There is a quilt pinning ceremony where families, friends, and transplant recipients honor donors. Their handmade quilt squares are pinned onto the TGA quilt and will be combined with others to create the 2018 Transplant Games donor quilt. There is a donor tribute event acknowledging donors who have given the gift of life. And there is a special group of people called the Quarter Century Club. The Quarter Century Club is a group of donors and recipients who have given and received the gift of life more than 25 years ago. My sister Tracy, who donated a kidney to me more than 32 years ago, and I are both members of the Quarter Century Club. So let's go to the Quarter Century Club party and meet some of these amazing people. I'm here with George and Barb, the co-founders of the Quarter Century Club. So George, tell us how the Quarter Century Club came about.
I always felt that there was a need for support for long-term recipients. At the time, we are 14 years old, I think, and at the time I was 30 years with my transplant, so I just felt that there was always that need. You couldn't find it in any other group, so I said, let me see if I can find any more long-term recipients. That's when I found Barb.
And Barb, tell me about you and George meeting and how that came about.
Well, we met on a National Kidney Foundation media site. It was a place for transplant patients to talk. And he put out the challenge, how many years he had his kidney, and can anyone beat that? And I came back and said, oh, yeah, we can. And we talked and sent emails and just got to know each other and felt that it was really important that people that had lived as long as we had knew that there was somebody else out there that they could relate to, because I thought I was the only person that had lasted that long.
Well, it's a great organization that you have put together, and I'm, a proud member of it myself. But tell me about the number 43 on your jersey here, George.
Well, the 43 means that I got my kidney transplant 43 years ago. November 4th, 1975, so I'll be 43 years this November.
Wow, how amazing.
It is, yeah.
And Barb, tell me about the number on your jersey.
Well, I've had my transplants for 44 years, and on my sleeve, it shows that my first one was 36 years, and my second one was 8 years.
So, if there's anything that you would like to share with everyone as your final words, what would that be?
If you are 25 years or approaching 25 years with one transplant or combined transplants, get in touch with us at gef3rd@gmail.com or look for us on Facebook, Quarter Century Club.
Wonderful. And what about you, Barb? Any last words?
Oh, not really. I just think George does the best. Well, I will tell you, he almost named the club the Geezers.
Thank goodness that didn't happen. But we're very thankful and appreciative for all you have done to create awareness about organ, eye, and tissue donation, and specifically for people who have achieved more than 25 years with their transplant. Thank you very much.
And let me say, too, I want to say that Bill Ryan, chairman of the Transplant Games of America, has really lifted this club up. He allowed us to march in. He was the first organization to allow us to march in 2012, 2014, 2016, and now 2018. He has provided fantastic venues for our dinner dance. And Bill, we really, really appreciate what you've done for us. Thank you very much.
Any closing remarks on that?
Oh, I can't thank him enough. It's been wonderful to actually be recognized and be able to find so many new members.
Are we ready to get on with this evening and have a good time?
Yes, we are. We're going to eat and have lots of food.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, you guys.
All right, thank you.
Hi, I found another member of the Quarter Century Club, Chef O. So, Chef O, tell me about your what you received in your transplant.
I am a 29-year kidney transplant, 2 times. The first one lasted 23 years, and I'm on the second one now, 6.5 years.
And tell me about your participation in the transplant games. How many years have you been participating?
I've been participating in the transplant games since 1987. And I've been to 7 World Games, and this is my 13th National Game.
Wow, I've got a ways to go to catch up with you.
Come on, Tammy, you can do it. You can do it. You may catch them past me. Hope not.
Absolutely. So, what has been the greatest blessing being part of the Quarter Century Club, being with your family here that has achieved greater than 25 years in the Quarter Century Club?
The greatest blessing is that. The blessing is that I've had 2 family members who had lost loved ones to make my life what it is, and what I can do to pay it back is to continue my success or continue doing what I'm doing every day in life by paying it forward, helping others that who can't help themselves, doing good deed in the community, and meeting good people like you and the rest of the Quarter Century Club people.
So when we came in, I said I'm with Chef O, but what's your name?
My name is Oliver Hale, Hale. I'm a resident of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I am a retired chef. Let's say healthy lifestyle chef.
And thus the Chef O.
Yeah, that's where you got the Chef O. And that's where it came from.
Wonderful. Any final words you'd like to share with everyone?
All I can say is donate life and be an organ donor, because it does save life. And those people's lives you say, you never know what they'll be. They may grow up and be a great chef, or they probably be a good poetry writer, or they can be a great golfer like my friend, or whatever. You never know. But donate life, okay?
Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Tammy. Nice seeing you.
Hi, I'm here with Deborah, another Quarter Century Club member and a member of Team Ohio. So, Deborah, tell me about your transplant, what you received and when you received it.
Sure. I received a liver transplant in 1988, so about 30 years ago. I had a genetic disorder called Wilson's disease that destroyed my liver, and really having a liver transplant was the only option at that point. And I received a liver from a deceased donor, and everything worked right away, and I've been happy and healthy for the last 30 years. I've been able to go to college, have a career. I have had 3 children since then, and been able to see my brothers and sisters turn into parents and watch my nieces and nephews even grow up and get married. So I feel like I've lived a very full life since the transplant, and that would have never been possible 30 years ago.
And tell me, how many years have you been coming to the transplant games?
So I've been coming to the Transplant Games since 1990 when they were first in Indianapolis. And I came every year except for 2008 when I was expecting my second child. And so that made it a little difficult to try and think about coming here and participating, but yeah.
And what sports do you compete in here at the games?
So I compete in track and field, and I do some biking and the basketball and the volleyball. And this year I pushed myself a little bit and tried out for the virtual triathlon. So the swimming was a little rough. We got through it, and then I did well in the bike race, and then ran well in the mile too. So we did the best we could, and we have some good things to work forward to for next games.
Wonderful. And tell me if you had anything that you'd like to share about people, share with people about organ donation and transplantation. What would that be?
I think first and foremost, people need to understand that transplantation really gives people a very healthy, active life post-transplant. And we need lots of donors, and it's one of those topics that you really have to talk about ahead of time. So it's easy just to chat about organ donation with your family and friends. Think about it, get the facts, and make a decision and tell your family.
Well, congratulations on 30 years, and best of luck to you with the rest of the games.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Earlier, we introduced you to some of the athletes from Team SoCal. Let's take a look at some of them in action. I'm here with Tracy and Dave. They're Team SoCal members, and they're competing in cornhole. So, guys, how did it go this morning?
Fantastic. We played our first match. We beat them 21-0.
And is this the first time you all have teamed up together?
Yes, it is, and it won't be the last.
And Dave, how many times have you competed here at the games?
This is my third games, and I've taken gold in cornhole every time.
So is Tracy's your first, but this is the first time you and Tracy have partnered together, correct?
Yes, in cornhole. And she started off with our first point.
That's awesome. So what do you think of competing in cornhole this year?
Well, the fact that we actually won makes it a whole lot more fun than it did the previous year.
So who do you play next?
We don't know. The match is yet to be determined.
Okay. Well, good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
I'm here with Daryl from Team SoCal. Daryl, what sports did you compete in and how did you do?
Well, the first thing, though, I'm glad and happy even just to be able to compete. You know, it's more about competing and playing and seeing people than it is really for the games and everything else. It's just a lot more than people think. But it's so much fun being able to play with other people, you know, from all over the United States. I did basketball. I competed with the team basketball team, and then also I did bowling. There's 3 different events of bowling, and I did all of them. And very fortunate to get the silver in doubles, men's doubles. And we gave her a big try for the mixed doubles, but we come up a little short, but that's okay. There's another 2 years, we do it all over again. But I still have one more competition to do, and that's tomorrow. I'll be doing darts in the morning. So I'm hopeful maybe we can bring some more medal home for the team.
Well, good luck to you, and maybe we'll check back with you tomorrow.
Great. Thank you very much.
I'm here with Jim from Team SoCal. So, Jim, what sports did you compete in?
I competed in the cycling, some track event, and swimming.
And how did you do?
Actually, I think I did pretty good. In the swimming, I received numerous medals for the freestyle, backstroke, and breaststroke. In the cycling, I received a medal for the 20K. And I've competed in the virtual triathlon, which I received a gold medal in that.
Okay. So for people who don't know what the virtual triathlon is, what is that?
It's a swimming, 500-meter swim. It's a 12-mile bike ride and a 1,500 run, 1,500-meter.
And do you have any other sports to compete in?
No, at this point I'm done. I had 3 pretty intense days, and at this point I'm just enjoying the rest of the games, rooting for Team SoCal, and just looking forward to relaxing a little bit.
Well, congratulations on your success.
All right, thank you.
I'm here with Dave from Team SoCal. So Dave, what sports did you compete in and how'd you do?
So far, I've done the 5K, and I've done the bowling, and I've done the donor recipient bowling too with my cousin John, and I've also done 2 other bowling competitions, and I did cornhole yesterday.
And so how'd you do?
So far, I've gotten 3 gold medals, which is pretty good. I'm very happy.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So congratulations on your success.
Thank you very much.
I'm here with Sarah, and she's with Team SoCal. So Sarah, tell me what sports you competed in and how you did.
Well, I competed in bowling for singles, and I also competed in bowling for mixed doubles, and I walked away with a bronze medal.
Great. Nice looking hardware there.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your success.
Thank you very much.
I'm here with Daniel from Team SoCal. So Daniel, tell me what sports you competed in and how you did.
Well, I competed in 4 events this year: the swimming, cornhole, volleyball, and doubles bowling. And I've did really well. I've got a gold in swimming, bronze in swimming, bronze in cornhole, and a silver in bowling.
That's pretty darn good.
Yes, I am really pleased with myself, and I have to thank my donor for that opportunity.
So, show us the hardware.
Well, this is my hardware. These are my babies this year, and I'm very proud. And these are because of my donor and my donor family for giving me the opportunity to have a second chance in providing what I can do good.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Earlier I mentioned that I would be competing in badminton, bowling, poker, and volleyball. Well, here's how I did. I won a silver in poker, I won a silver in mixed doubles badminton, and I won a gold in volleyball. With so many transplant recipients gathered in one place, it's a great time to set a Guinness World Record. So I'm here with hundreds of my closest friends to set a Guinness World Record for the most organ transplant recipients gathered in one place. This is pretty cool being part of this record-setting event. Earlier, we showed you some of the non-sporting activities. Well, one of the main activities that everyone that attends the games does is pin trading. Each team designs and produces their own unique pin to represent their team. The pin trading is a great way for people from all over the country to meet and share their stories. It makes for wonderful camaraderie. It's been an amazing 6 days here in Salt Lake City, Utah at the 2018 Donate Life Transplant Games. We've met some amazing recipients, living donors, donor families, and supporters from all over the country, and have heard some amazing stories about organ, eye, and tissue donation. The competition has been great, and everyone's had a great time competing. The games aren't over yet, but so far Team SoCal has garnered 69 medals, which include 26 gold, 27 silver, and 16 bronze. The 2018 Donate Life Transplant Games comes to a close with the closing ceremony. The closing ceremony includes the Athletes of the Year Award and the TGA Team Trophy. And we're happy to report that we did indeed set a Guinness World Record for the largest gathering of organ transplant recipients, with a total of 540 recipients. With the extinguishing of the flame, the 2018 Donate Life Transplant Games are officially in the books. Thank you for watching the Donate Life Show and the Donate Life Transplant Games episode.